Okay, so thousands of NFL fans say they're boycotting the Super Bowl halftime show after reports saying that Bad Bunny said he will wear a dress during the Super Bowl halftime performance. Because of this, there are a lot of people saying that they're going to boycott the NFL. And then you have some that are okay with it. So, with that being said, okay, so let's start with Steve. Steve, unmute your mic. Um, the,
You can
que-
hear me?
first question, yeah, the first question is what is your thoughts? How did you feel when you found out that that a queer guy was performing at the Super Bowl halftime half show, which is majority a man's sport? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I never had of actual thought of it like that because I didn't have a thought of him like that. I actually see him as just a regular comedian
What
and
the
actor.
a comedian?
Yeah, just like he just played in the Adam Sandler movie and he was actually funny in it.
He's a singer.
I know he is, bro, but
Oh,
he's actually he playing Saturday Night Live. He been in everything too, bro.
that he's not a comedian. He's an entertainer that played on Saturday Night Live.
He's in. I'm saying he does everything.
He ain't no comedian, nigga. But go
He
ahead.
be in movies as gangsters. He do everything.
Tiana Taylor was just on Saturday Night Live, but she's not a goddamn comedian, nigga.
All right, but I'm just saying that he be in movies. He does a little bit of everything. So
Okay,
I
got it.
feel like anything he doing is still entertainment.
Okay, so but the question is, how as a sports fan and a fan of the NFL, how do you honestly feel about queerism being injected into the fabric of the sport?
Like I said, I didn't ever think of it like that. But it's just like with every team, with boys boycotting and saying they not wearing stuff on their jerseys. You know what I'm saying? To what's the name? What everybody got their own thing, and I don't go against it, but I hate when they try to force stuff on us. You know
Well,
what I'm
you
saying? Like
don't
how
think
they
that's
try
what
to
they're
force,
doing?
huh?
You don't think that's what they're doing? Because there have been
I'm
several.
saying that. That's
Yeah.
why I said I don't like when they try to force stuff on us. He not that kind of artist to me to be the halftime show. He might be that kind of entertainer, but he's not that kind of halftime show that everybody will be okay with. I ain't gonna lie, last year though, it wasn't that kind of halftime show to me that everybody was cool with.
Nah, but we just talking about this particular
I got
artist
you.
though,
I'm just
more so.
saying
Yeah.
though, but
Mm,
I'm just giving a heads up that
yeah.
it just don't go like that sometimes.
Yeah. But this is different. Can we
Okay,
admit
I'm
it's
just giving.
different?
Hey, that was my perspective. I respect it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, King. And then we're gonna come back around because I have another question that I want to hit with y'all about the topic. I just want to first get y'all initial thoughts as to how you feel about the NFL and what they're doing as far as the halftime show with Bad Bunny. King, what's your thoughts on it?
Uh, I mean, like kind of like Steve, man. I ain't really gave too much thought with it because it just seems like that's the direction that these big powers have been going. Is like really bringing in the LGBTQ whatever movement and artists. I don't really know much about Bad Bunny other than stuff that I may have accidentally heard on the radio. I don't know anything about him being an actor. I don't know nothing about it at all. In the sense of like when I first heard it, it was like Bad Bunny. I thought maybe it was a chick, a girl. I didn't know he was no, it was a dude. I didn't, what I'm saying, nothing against him. But once I did research who it was, I was like, oh, I can see why people like him. I can see why he's a superstar type of thing. But at the same time, the controversial stuff about it, I don't I don't know what
Are
they're
you
doing.
are you okay with him performing at the Super Bowl representing LGBT? It seems like everybody running around this question.
Because I don't care no more. Because they doing what they
Nah,
know how to do. They doing what they gonna do anyway. That's everywhere, bro. It's
I
like you
did. I
can't even
didn't.
watch a show without seeing it. So
I didn't ask you if you
it doesn't
cared.
matter. I just change the channel. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? It just
Yeah.
it
Okay.
doesn't. I'm not gonna. I mean, if it, I'll check it out. But if it's boring and I'm change, I mean, I don't know. I guess in my heart of hearts, I want to say yeah. It's kind of like whack. I feel like it's football. You know, you kind of want to see, I guess, some different kind of artists, but
Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
don't know.
Christian, what's your thoughts on this? Do you think this is an infringement on masculinity?
Well, first of all, I'm not like a fan of football or anything like that. I kind of watch the halftime show every now and again if it's an artist that I like. So I'm not really one that cares about football, but I understand what it means to people and how important it is. I mean, I grew up in the Los Angeles area, so LGBTQ community is something I always was familiar with and understood and always, lived amongst and understood, who they were, respected them, and had no problems. Coming down to the South, it was a little bit different, tolerance of it, what and whatnot. So I kind of like it doesn't sometimes when some people see some things, they're like, oh my God, it's so shocking, but I kind of grew up in that kind of atmosphere with a lot of that community. So it's something I was very familiar with. But I am a fan of like reggaeton, I'm a fan of bachata, all that stuff. I speak Spanish, all that. So I love like the type of music that he does, but I do recognize that it is something that is a negative thing for the masses. Because it feels for a lot of people as if they're forcing this agenda upon us. Like even if something that not if you don't you disagree with it, right? It's you don't hate anybody. You just something that you don't want to have as a part of your life. If you want to watch a Super Bowl, you're gonna have to view it. And it is something that is masculine, and that most people that are watching it are males and probably do not prefer to see a man rapping reggaeton wearing a dress. I feel like if he does do that, he's purposely doing it to cause commotion, to incite conversation, and it's not respectful, of
Mm-mm.
what is intended to do. Even if you look back at the history of like the Super Bowl halftime show, there wasn't one, and one year they lost all their audience to In Living Color, and then nobody came back, and they said we
Yeah.
have to change this, right? And then they came with that bomb halftime show, and it became a thing, right? It's very special. It's very iconic. It's something that football fans look forward to. So I think that doing that is definitely purposefully trying to do something that, a majority of the audience is going to be uncomfortable with. And whereas I'm not a football fan, I'm thinking about my 10-year-old son watching it, and I don't really want to have to explain to him if he asks me, Mommy, why is that man wearing a dress? I know this is the world we live in, but that's not my favorite thing to do.
Gotcha, gotcha. Now, before we get to you, Jay, man, I want to kind of give some feedback off what Miss Christian said. She's definitely right as far as about the California area, because like when I hear people say like they tend to think like Atlanta is like the gay capital or whatever or whatnot. I tell people all the time, y'all lost in time. L.A. been Atlanta 60 years ago. 60 years ago, longer than that. LA
Mm-mm.
been that.
Oh
Atlanta,
yeah.
Atlanta is new, right? And yeah, I just had wanted to add to that because you are so right, Miss Christian. That LA is somewhere looking like y'all really think that Atlanta started all this? Like, no, 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 no. But also I want to add to that is you know what the NFL reminds me, who the NFL reminds me of? They reminds me of the drug dealer that knows that they can treat the customer any way they want, and they still gonna come to them. They still gonna serve. They still gonna buy them. They can slap them across the head. They still gonna come back. You know what I'm saying? They can jump on them. They can do anything, man, and they still gonna come back. And so for me, I've been, I've been stopped watching sports, right? Because I got tired after the Colin Kaepernick situation, right? And I
Yeah.
just got tired of spending my money. I just realized that I'm never going to win investing it into an organization that it's a big deal. They have to question a black quarterback's IQ in order to even say he's qualified to start, right? And so, but with that being said, that's how I look at it. Like I don't even feel sorry for the customers no more because it's like they like being mistreated, they like being misrepresented, and they like the fact that they're how they feel about something that they're supporting is just so disregarded. And the NFL is just like, we're gonna do what we want to do. Y'all need us more than we need y'all. We are the program, and nothing matters.
I kind of want to push back on that.
I mean in general, but if I don't mean individually, but go ahead, push back.
Whatever that was. But I wanted to push back on it a little bit when you say like, kind of like the non-complacency or the fans are just, gullible and want to, I think that it's more than that. It's like there is a part of like football and sports that came from like the nostalgic 70s and 80s and 90s of sports watching that a lot of people still hope and root that comes back. Just think that because they give you a little piece that shows you that some of that nostalgia is going to come back of that old school type of like sport thing, but really it doesn't. It's just that mirage, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And as it gets bigger and bigger, there's more and more conclusion of things, and it's more of entertainment. It's more WWE world, like wrestling. It's scripted. It's all that. So I think they're still like hard to say like they're just dumb fans just watching. It's more so like, damn, it's a lot of nostalgia and bonding of families between these sports teams and games, and the game of 72, the game of 77, and the 82 Super Bowl and 1994 Cowboys, whatever, this and that. So it's like with somebody who's perfect. Yeah, all that. Yeah. Yeah.
And that sounds like the crackhead that's gonna be like, it don't matter how the drug dealer mistreat me, I need that crack.
I guess, yeah. I guess so. Yeah, yeah.
Like what it
I mean, because I guess so. Because I mean, just like anything that you're addicted to, a drug or watching TV or the feeling, it's the serotonin and the chemicals in your body that you want to get to that same feeling again. And maybe watching a good game, escaping from the regular life, is what that is. I'd rather somebody doing that than sparking up that crack pipe, because that's a crazy life right there. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
to be
they watch,
to that.
they watch football too.
Yeah.
So Jay, let me ask you, I want to say this and then you can answer your question. The example that I was alluding to was the example like I remember this corner store in a neighborhood where I used to live, right? And the Asians in there, they were real mean, they were racist, right? But here it is, they had their feet planted in our community, and they was taking our money, selling us damn near expired items that we still would buy, and we would continue to give them their money even though they treated us bad. But Jay, I was the guy who, once I found out, I don't go to your store no more. And even if it meant I had to go to the store a couple of blocks down or a mile down, that's what I did because I stood on that. Why is it that it seems like us, we just, and I'm saying this, not even, I'm forget color lines, it's football fans in general. Why is it we can't do that? Because the NFL is not bigger than the people.
I walked in here as soon as I saw it. It's like the smaller leagues trying to come in and take over the NFL during the summer. You just can't beat something that's got so much of a mass following. I remember I admitted him. And everything too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, sometimes like the NFL is branded. So they took Sundays from the church.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, it's well branded. It's taken. It took over.
Damn.
Right.
You killed it. That's my point.
Shit.
It's
But I
I,
mean,
we let the
NFL.
NFL we let the NFL take us away from God.
but there's not a way to
Hey,
like
the
fix that.
NFL say you can start at 8 o'clock. They start at 12.
Hey,
Church,
I
get
swear to
out.
God, I done been in a church where the preacher brung up, I got to get to this football game.
Hey man, men leave their wife in the supermarket and told her, "Hey man, you got to be out of here by this time because the kickoff started this time." He left her. She had the Uber home.
Go ahead, Jay. I think Steve, because your mic wasn't working. Go ahead, Jay.
That is true. Like he was saying, like it has monopolized the whole thing. It just in general, but this is gonna be an unpopular opinion. I personally, nor do I care or have a problem with the Bad Bunny thing. Here's why. It don't affect me. Him getting up there doing that, it don't affect me. You know what I'm saying? It's the halftime show. It's not part of the game. As far as take away the masculinity from the game, if that's the case, this is probably an argument should be had back when Michael Sam's was coming in. And honestly, he probably should have been able to have a career. Like, the end of the day, I know that I have daughters, and there's the LGBTQ community. And do I have a problem with them? No, it don't affect me. How I raise my daughters is now, are they exposed to stuff? Yeah, but guess what? Back in like 55, 1960, we were the ones that were trying to be represented, and people were like, why are we a part of AB as far as Black people? Now, it's different because it's not, sexuality, all that stuff, that's murky road. But it's like, what are you going to do? And it's at this point in time where there's all this unrest in the nation, stuff like that. It's like, you know what? I'm not going to stress myself over no Super Bowl halftime show. I ain't finna watch the damn Super Bowl, first and foremost. I ain't watching it. He don't even do his songs anyway, so he finna piss off everybody there in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he does have an audience, and just like last year, some people hated the fact that Kendrick was up there. But guess what? Kendrick was representation for us. I love that. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. Unless they want to sit up there and have Taylor Swift, that Randy Travis, all that, so that it can feel it's representing the NFL the correct way for the people that whatever, then whoever can run it. Unless they want to do that or have Bruno Mars do it each year.
But Jay, but let me ask you this, right? I think that when people say that, I think it's sort of a cop out because it does affect us. It does, even by default. We cannot sit because there's an agenda being pushed, bro.
There's always an agenda.
No, but
everybody has agendas. So Black people have agendas.
This is not the same agenda. Why are we trying to wash this out?
I'm not saying it's the same agenda. What I'm saying is the agenda.
This is different.
No, but here's the thing. There's always that, and that's why I brought up back in the 50s to 60s. You know what the agenda was then? For us to get our representation, and we got it. Now,
there's a difference here. I have to interject. The difference is that back then we wanted to be treated equally. True. This community wants to be treated differently. Yeah, we just wanted what the white people were getting. They want different rules. They want things to change. Black people were not saying, rewrite rules and accept different things and shove it in our faces. Whereas I have no problem with that community. There's a big difference in it. And I don't like when it's compared to the Black struggle because we just wanted equality. They want different stuff. Like, at the end of the day, the law is man and wife as a marriage, and they want the law to change. They want it to be man and woman and woman. So that's not equality. That's special. They want to be treated,
Let me push back on that one thing about it. So Bad Bunny, it's not like, now the dress thing, I personally don't seen Kanye running around in kilts, Young Thugs, weird ass running around in dress and stuff. Bad Bunny has it like that's his audience. He's not a trans person himself. I don't know if he's gay or bisexual or what, So but that represents that. Him wearing the dress represents it, right? That's what it is. But it's not like he's saying, hey, and I think he is trying to piss the administration off.
Oh,
as
he
much as
has
possible.
said it. He's
That's what he's
But
acknowledged.
trying to do.
Kanye and Young Thug wearing dresses, but they like pussy, and we know that, you know.
Okay, but
So
let me ask you a question.
them,
Have you seen
And
Bad
they're
Bunny
not
say, "This is
performing at
my
the Super
boyfriend"?
Bowl
no, but
halftime show
I don't know about
in
him,
front of
but
the
I
world.
do know about them, you know.
Right,
So
but
it's
you don't
like
know
it
about
doesn't.
Bad Bunny though.
But
That's
but
what
it's
I'm
like
saying.
it doesn't come up as a question of sexuality when you see it as a fashion trend in that way. And if he was doing it just as a fashion trend, just like saying I'm wearing a dress because it's a fashion trend, but he's making a statement for the LGBT community is what it's being perceived as. And he is described as being queer, so he has some involvement in that community.
So Young Thug saying this is my boyfriend and all this stuff, that's the same thing. It's just about how we I get what it is the same thing. So Young Thug for years can do all this stuff. This is my, saying all this other stuff. I'm not defending Bad Bunny per se. I'm just saying, like you said it perfectly. It's the perception. The perception is that it may not be that. I think he's just trying to piss off the administration. With all this, the stuff with ICE and all the stuff, he's already doing his whole set's going to be in Spanish. He's trying to piss off the
And that makes
administration.
sense. I mean, it makes sense if that's what he's trying to do. I mean, I wouldn't argue with that. But at the end of the day, it's like he's using, this platform for his agenda. And a lot of people do share his agenda, right? So there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be for it and saying, look at Bad Bunny, and we're so excited for him, and other people that are disgusted by it. But at the end of the day, you can change the channel. You don't have to watch it, and it doesn't really matter in the big scheme of things.
That's kind of where I'm at. That's why I said it doesn't affect. I'm not watching.
Hey, if anybody in the world feel you, my nigga, I feel you, okay? Because like what I don't know doesn't hurt me. I'm a big proponent of that. That's why I was just telling my husband I don't watch the news, because if I don't know the fuck shit going on in the world, I'm not going to be upset or worried about it, So it's just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah, and that's kind of my whole soliloquy, right? As far as when it comes to this, my whole thing is, again, I'm not even tripping with the NFL at this point, right? I'm not even tripping with Bad Bunny because clearly he was paid. Well, he wasn't. Well, you got to pay to be there, but they asked him to be there. My whole thing is like it's just getting to the point where we're just starting to accept anything. Because y'all got to think about this. After this, what's next? Then it's going to be a trans at the next halftime. Like they're going to upgrade the bullshit, right?
Yeah.
And like you see what I'm saying? I'm thinking ahead.
Yeah, we're not going back from here.
It's just like they're trying to purposely mess up the halftime show. Like last year, people were mad about Kendrick, but I feel like the basis of that was just that because the year before they did it in LA and had all the LA artists there, right? So they kind of set that precedent. So then the next year, when they went to New Orleans, they wanted it to be Juvenile, Cash Money. That's what they wanted, but they said no, Kendrick. So a lot of people were really mad about that. I'm from Louisiana, so that's why I was born. I had to side with them, and I didn't understand it. There was plenty of hits, plenty of people that could have done the exact same thing they did the year before. But it's like, and the only reason that people had the idea to do it is because of what happened in Los Angeles. If y'all didn't let all them niggas come from LA and do it, the next year in New Orleans, nobody would have even had the idea.
Yeah,
so just like 2 years in a row, people are having a lot of beef about the halftime show.
Well, it's actually 3. It was LA, and then it was Usher before. So that's what I'm saying. Like they're like, honestly, no matter who, if it wasn't a Taylor Swift or something, they're gonna be tight because it's like, all right, we done had 3 shows with black.
And LA boy, Detroit and New York with them. Didn't they? Didn't 50 and Eminem perform as well?
Yeah.
When? I don't know.
And the
that was the LA one, 50 and Eminem.
That was the LA one.
They brought 2 other cities with them.
Yeah. I guess
the majority was Los Angeles, and that's how they kind of advertised it.
I guess one of the reasons, I guess I'm looking at it from such futuristic angles is because it's like, we come, everything that was born of us and before us was generations of people who stood against things. Like they had no problem standing against things if they didn't agree with it. And it seems like now we just turning into, okay, it's whatever. Okay, it's whatever. Oh, this is poison? Okay, it's whatever.
We're not as militant as the past eras, fam.
Yeah.
Like I ain't gonna lie. I ain't going out there and standing up for what's going on with ICE and kill myself behind nobody else. I'm not doing it.
I'm not doing it. That
I'm
ain't my
just keeping
fight.
it real.
That ain't my fight. Hey, they don't stand for us. You know
Can't
what
say
I'm
that
saying?
out loud. Can't say that shit out loud, man.
Ooh,
That
I know,
man,
right?
God
They
damn.
they'll
Hey
jump
man,
on us on
I'm just
camera.
keeping it real, man. I'm doing what I gotta do to stay here with my people. If I don't gotta run into them people and get into that, I'm not getting into that.
Now wait, y'all check this out. I love this. The segues be perfect. We finna segue into it. I already got the video. So let's talk about it. Mute your mic.